Hey all, it's Rightplan here from Novagamer. As you can see, I've started the defense video immediately after the attack video, so I'm going to get this out very shortly. I'm trying to get these videos out as quick as possible to catch up on what we missed the last 9 days. So we're going to go over my castle now. I will show you those changes that I talked about in the castle attack video yesterday. So let's take a look here. As you can see, my crowns took a huge hit from the castle attack videos this time. You guys' castles are coming along nicely with these changes to the patches. So obviously they're helping out people. So this is the new castle. What I'll do first is I'll do the quick little shout out there after I get my gem. So there is a ton of shout outs because it's been 9 days. I'm just going to go through them really fast here. Basically, you can see that I've had a lot of losses, but when I first designed the castle right here, there was a lot of wins because it was new. Nobody was used to it yet. It was something that they weren't expecting. Then, obviously, like I was getting huge wins and small losses. A couple big losses, but mostly small ones. And then, see, I got a whole whack more high wins there. It was doing really, really nice when I first came out with it. I'm not going to read your guys' comments this one just because there is 9 days worth of them. As you can see, we're back to 1 week ago and people are still commenting on it. But I will let you guys know if I can find it here. This is... I haven't had this far, but this is one of the best in a while in my opinion. I'm very surprised this is a bad win. That is actually an old castle. First new castle was beat by Master Shake, which is right here. Well, I thought that was my worst run. Keep lagging. Sucks. Gets not healing anymore. Shield is as good. So, congrats to you, Master Shake. You were actually the first person to get the 3 stars, and that was a week ago. So people still tried after that. For instance, you can see up here, Too Shy to Chat just recently got his 3 after he got it. Tranquil got theirs as well. So people did get 3 stars. Unfortunately, Master Shake was the first one. But Too Shy to Chat, Tranquil, Too Shy to Chat did it twice because he forgot that he did it. Scargrash, they all did it, but the video I'll show is the one for Master Shake because he was the first. But good, congrats to the rest of you guys for doing that. Obviously, normally if somebody beats mine, I try to change the timer to make it even more difficult. But I was gone on vacation, and then the server wouldn't let me back on, as I've been saying in the other videos. So I didn't have a chance to tweak my castle at all. Just so you guys know, they are doing this now. For a couple days for each hero class, you'll be able to play them for free, and you'll get bonus stuff for playing them that you can unlock. And as well, they're offering, I believe, a discount in the price of purchasing the hero after the time period is over. Basically, it's a way to get them to get you to want to play the hero more and actually buy it, but it's also cool that you can unlock some stuff that you couldn't have before. I did purchase... What did I purchase? Trying to remember what I purchased now. Oh, yes. I purchased the gem mine. So, this is the gem mine. You can see it right here. It glows green, and it does exactly what you think it does. It has a max out of 25 gems, but I don't know the exact timer on it, but I think it's like every half hour or so. Maybe every hour, but I think it's every half hour. You will get 1 extra gem, and it loads itself all the way up to 25. So basically, when you log in after 2 days, you'll have 25 gems pretty much, unless people start running your castle a lot. But it also gives you the ability that when you attack somebody's castle, you can get gems out of them if they haven't collected out of it yet. So it's another way for people to get gems. I have only been on the game for 2 days now. Well, would have been 3, but I couldn't get on yesterday. I came on for the first day just to check to see how everything was, and then I was going to get on yesterday, do the video, but I couldn't, and now I'm on again today, and I'm back up to 124 gems. I think I was down to 15, so within a 3-day period, I've gone up, yeah, quite a bit. What is that, 109? So, let me take a look here. This is the new castle. What we'll do is I'll go through it really quick here. We did the shoutouts, but first, before we do this, I'm just going to give you the changes that have happened in case people haven't heard of them. There is barriers now, so I'll show you that in this castle design. It's the first castle design I made with the barriers, so that tells you how old this castle is now and how long it took us to get this video out, because it is the first time, we literally, the first day barriers came out, we built this castle. Another thing that they changed was a lot of the minions. I'm not going to really go through it, but mainly the dogs have been increased, because I already went through that in the previous video before I made this castle. So you can go back and check out the previous castle defense video before this one, and then you can actually see from there what the changes were. Let me just take a look here. So this is Castle Defense 19. Castle Defense 18 was the one that we did that in. So if you guys want to check that out, you can go back and check that out, and that will describe more about the barriers and those changes. But since then, it's pretty much just been the gem mine, the new hero thing that they're coming out with. They have added some more stuff to the Emporium. For instance, the Notorious Squid is a new one you can buy. I don't think there was a new castle theme since the last one I talked about, because Marleybone we already talked about. There has been these flag capes added. Now I really want to buy the Canadian cape and put it on, but I also like my glow, and the problem is if I buy this goes away, and I don't really want to do that. They should have made it so that it gave you a type of dye that you could dye the cape you're wearing to have that, so it doesn't, so then you can wear this and have your cape dyed to look like that. I don't know, that's just me, but that's a new thing that they've added. I think the rest of what we've already talked about in the other videos. Let me just check them real quick here. Yeah, so all the rest we've already gone over, like the Marleybone mask. But anyways, so there you go. That is most of the changes. There are some other minor little changes, but that's the bigger changes that have happened since then. I don't know if I mentioned it in the last video, so that would be the last thing I mentioned before we describe the castle here, is that healers and knights, instead of being able to heal, instead they're offered a shield. And so far I've been told by most mages and knights that this is an actual benefit, and it actually works better than the healing if you use it properly. I don't know if it's true because I don't use them, but what I've been hearing from other people is that it's better than the healing, so they're not upset the healing's gone. Other people are complaining because they don't know how to use it properly, I'm guessing, that they prefer to the healing over the shield. So, question of the day for this video: what do you prefer, the healing or the shield of the knights and the mages? Do you think they should go back to healing, or do you think that was unfair and that the shields are more fair and should be kept? So that's the old question there. So let's get into the description of our old castle here. So basically this whole section up here is just a time killing area, so that can be whatever the hell you want it to be. I added in the 3 mines here. Now the way I designed stuff in here, there's not a lot of room for mines, so I had to put a lot of them at the beginning. The downfall to this is it gives people a bigger time buffer to make it through everything. But I wanted to start off simple, so this was a very simple design. It was the first design that we made. I just want to start off with something that wasn't too complex, just so somebody out there can say, hey, that's a new idea. I like the spin on it. It's like a spin on the old idea. So once you get past here, this room here you can set up any way you want. Basically these two sections right here is purely just to stop people from wanting to run back out once they get into the danger room. So you can set this up any way you want. So I'm not really going to go over that. That's just your standard spike traps and some rotating fire cannons. But this is the new setup I made. So I'm just going to hold it there for a second. And as always, we will talk about which piece that is. So that is the cross chamber O2, the one that we normally use the old hamster wheel room trap for. So I've just made an improvement upon it. I added some more hamster wheels at the beginning, as you can see here. I did do one tiny separation of them and put 3 corrosion mines in here, which has actually helped out. People have been hitting those quite often, and they continue through into here. The thing that gets them is that once they get in here, they are now blocked in. They have to take some damage to try to open these up so they can roll through. And the best part about putting the barriers like this is even if they clear one side and they get over here and attack everything, they have to clear the other side to get through again and continue over to this side. If you're doing this setup, I will highly... Oh, and I put barriers here at the back so people can't just roll straight through without taking any damage at all. They will hit this wall and have to finish it, so one of these 2 hamster wheels will hit them. I also put a little separation here and put in another corrosion mine just in case they didn't get hit by these ones. If you're doing this setup, you definitely want to have a boss room, and I'll get into the boss room in a minute. But that's because somebody can just roll in here, roll straight through here. They won't aggro anything on these 2 sides. they'll break open this side and just run into the boss room and then finish your castle. So you do want a boss room with minions if you're doing this setup, because it's very easy for somebody to just roll through, because these barriers are beneficial in the sense that they get attacked in here, but the downfall to this setup is that these minions will not attack you until this barrier is broken down. So take that into account. And the reason why is I put the minions back here so they're just before the barrier. That stops people from being out here and doing a volley or a vortex or anything like that and trying to suck the minions in and aggro them from back here where there's hardly any damage. So this forces them to have to come in, break down the barrier, get through, and then attack them. So this is just your standard hamster wheel room setup, and I'm not really going to describe too much about it because we've done this setup quite a bit. If you want to see how to set this up properly and choose the minions and all that stuff, you can go back and check out our other castle defense videos, and you'll see that this setup is in a couple of them. The only difference that I made was I got rid of one hamster wheel on each side, and I put in the barriers instead of a hamster wheel. This does two things. It makes this section smaller so that they're in a tighter space, so it's more difficult for them to move around. And it also makes it so that the barriers aren't so close together that one single volley or one single vortex will break all the barriers. So you want to make sure that they're spaced out just right. And the way that I tested how far to do is I put down one barrier, and then I came down and did a volley on that barrier to see, because now volley creates a circle on the ground so you can see how big it is. I did a volley, saw how big the volley was, and then made sure that the second barrier was placed just outside that, so there's no way that you can get both in one volley or one vortex. So that's a good little hint for you guys out there that are setting up something similar to this or in another kind of room layout, that you should consider the fact that somebody could do a volley or a vortex and wipe out all your barriers at once. My castle attack video, I had a lot of losses, but one thing I'll definitely say is I'm good at the castle defenses. If I could just build defenses to build my crowns up and that's it, I'd probably do a hell of a lot better. So once you get through here, so this is that, basically that's that setup. I'm not going to go through it, like I said, too much detail. That's just the changes to the room. Once you get through that room, you come into the boss room. Now the boss room layout is the same way that it was set up in, I believe, castle defense, well, the last castle defense video, which would have been castle defense 18. So if you want to see this layout there and how to set that up, you can do that in castle defense 18. The only difference is that I put a little bit of a gap here and put these minions on this side and these minions on this side. Now the reason why I did that is that basically when people come up and they go to attack here, they're not going to be able to volley all your minions at once, because the volley won't go past this barrier. It'll only kill the barrier. These guys won't be attacked, so they'll still have some minions, so you can't take out the whole swarm of them at once, and it makes it more difficult because I'm keeping one of the Defendotrons and two silencers back here. So if you try to volley here, you'll break down the barrier, you won't kill these guys, and then they'll come out and they'll do their defense and their dampening. So it keeps these type of minions that you really want alive longer. The only downfall to putting the barrier across like this, like I did, is that some people have been purposely shooting just a little hole, and then they'd squeeze through, kill these guys, and then they would just shoot straight through the center of that barrier over and over and over again. So it creates like a funnel effect, and you can't get all your minions on them. So that is one big downfall to that, but only if people do exactly that. As you can tell by the kills here, as soon as you do break down at least 3 of these barriers or 4, then they'll start pouring through, and then you're stuck in this tight little fighting area. And then, of course, I put some of the cannons on this side to make it so that you can't just, use this whole area and only have to dodge the creatures. You have to dodge the cannons as well. I also set these guys up just right so that there's pretty much no space to be in here where you're not getting attacked by spike traps or rotating fire cannons. So it forces people to want to fight behind this wall. And as you can see, we got 1, 2, and I did have to pick up 2 bodies because I was at the max, which is the max is 18 for those of you who don't know. I was at the max and I wanted to see some more kills, so I picked up 2 of the bodies. So there was 4 deaths back here. There was 3 here, so that's a total of 7 deaths from this boss room. So it did do quite well. Actually, the boss room did better than this room did, but we did get some kills in here as well. Don't know how I got a kill there. I'm gonna guess somebody missed a mine and had to run back, but I somehow got a kill there. But I wouldn't suggest doing this room to get a kill, because that's not what happened. They just happened to be running back through the castle for some reason and had no potions left, and that was their final death. They probably missed this mine, I'm guessing. But there you have it. That is, like I said, this one's a very simple one. This is our first attempt at the barriers. It did take us a while to get this video, and I do apologize for that again. I'm just going to do a quick run through on this so that you guys can see it. So I'm just going to skip the mines, but as you can see, the gem mines have that green glow to them. I'm going to skip the mines, force a habit. So, here's the first part. So you can see it's very difficult to get through that without getting hit at all. Unless you've done it quite a bit. So that's one thing I don't like, is the fire traps, and your rotating fire cannons and your cannons do attack your barriers, which I think is dumb, that your own barriers can be killed by your own stuff. It doesn't make any sense at all to me. Why would you have a barrier in your house that could be... That's like plugging water into your light socket. Because you need a light socket, but you also need water. That, I don't know. Why would you have something in your own house that can destroy itself? But you see, I stood behind the barrier and I did that volley by mistake, so it doesn't let me volley up here, so it does make it more difficult. I'm cheating because I got the mine already, so I'm going to head out of there. But you can see I've had to use 2 potions in that room alone, so that does help contribute to killing in the boss room, because now I'm 2 potions less. So as you can see, if I kill that, it won't kill the guys in the back. They'll just move away. And now I'm stuck in this short little area. Now, if it was up to, if I wasn't on vacation for as long as we were, I would have tweaked this castle's minions a little more. But for something I threw together quickly, you can see that it's a nice minion setup. Probably gonna die though. I'm rushing this. Oh no, I should be fine now. Or maybe not. Out. Alright, maybe I made this a little better than I thought. Can he make it? There we go. Oh my god, I'm still alive. One thing that's stupid. Okay, here's another example. This is one thing that happened to me every time I kept trying to validate this castle. No, maybe it's not happening this time for some. Oh, right. It's because I didn't kill all the mines. Sometimes there was one minion that stayed back there and wouldn't follow me for some reason. But anyways, I didn't destroy all the mines, so that's why I can't validate. I always fall for this because I'm so used to fighting the actual castles. But there you have it. I'm not going to validate it because the time was not near as good as my first one. But that's the castle. So as you can see, it forced me to have to stop in the middle of the hamster wheel room and do attacks. The wall here is not a huge thing. I just wanted to see how beneficial it was. It's not a huge benefit. But also it's not a terrible idea. If you want to add that in, you can. It's just it didn't do as well of a job as I was hoping it would. But it did make the boss room, as you can see, a lot more difficult, but I think it was my creature choice that actually made this boss room as difficult as it was. So if you guys want to see what I had for creatures there, that's all the creatures there. So that was Defenatron, Dampeners up here, Smelly Warriors, and then everything you can see here. And once again, I went through this on a previous video, but anything that's in the front, have them face forward like so to aggro you as you run in. And then for the ones that you might have missed, make sure that they face backwards so that, for instance, here, if you're way in this corner, you're still going to aggro these guys, who I have selected them to choose all the stuff in there. So in case there's anything you might not have pulled and missed, they'll grab them anyways. This is a good way to get as many creatures as you possibly can in your boss room without actually needing the boss to aggro everything. I still refuse to buy a Flamo, but that's just me. I hate Flamo so much that I don't even want to buy him now. But that's just me. A lot of people do have Flamo, so you know, obviously he's a part of the game and he's an awesome boss for killing people quickly. He's pissed me off many times in the past, and I can't stand him. I don't even like looking at him. Flamo's the bane of my existence. Anyways, there you go. There is the castle. So sorry again for this being out so late, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. This again is our first attempt at the barriers. This was 9 days ago, so we are going to rip this place apart and bring out some brand new barrier ideas. I have a lot of them. This was the first basic one, and I'm just going to keep making more and more and making them more and more difficult. This was our first basic, just to show you how barriers work and how you can easily change an old design to be a lot better. So this is an old design, two simple walls of barriers, and that's all that the difference is, and it makes it a lot harder. But there you have it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you haven't seen the Castle Attack video, feel free to go check that out. That was Castle Attack 7. We also have a new podcast out and an Aura Kingdom video, so feel free to check those out as well. I'm not in the podcast this time because I was away, but you can check out all the other guys in our Novagamercrew crew here, and they'll let you guys know about what they've been playing and what they've been at. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll be tearing this place apart, building a new one for you, so look forward to that, and as always, happy gaming.